Greetings, gamers.
This is Eli of the Tiger for
Super Happy Attack Team.
Playing some trials today on Firebase Delphi. I want to discuss sniping versus shotgun in trials, and specifically on this map. I think they're both very viable. Here you see my very first game. I choose the 1,000-yard stare. Don't know what that guy was trying to accomplish. Rushing a little too hard. The invisibility isn't that good. I've seen it before. And I can hear you activate it. So I shut him down quickly. Here is worth looking at twice. I scanned the top of the C dome. That is a camper's paradise for snipers. So you got to be careful on that. Here I'm just grabbing ammo for later rounds. I feel pretty confident we've got this one in the bag. Then I push out to help my teammate, but he's able to seal the deal. So often you go out here to the right, you need to be very aware of that far right outcropping where the ramp is on top. Yep, there he is. So always check that. It's easy to get domed by an enemy who gets there faster than you. Here's a second enemy taken down. Using my primary, able to shut him down and get the revive. So I played a few games with the sniper rifle and a few games with my chaperone shotgun. I think they're both extremely viable on this map. Here I'm going up to an inside route. Teammates down. I like the high mobility of the blink. I'm just going to keep moving around the map. I see an enemy following me rather than get on a close 1v1 situation. I draw him out, feed him to my teammates. So sometimes even though you don't get the kill and it doesn't show up on your stats, you make a move that allows your teammates to get the kill. There, I just looked at the dome and found him, which is a common spot for the enemy snipers to be at. So luckily I was able to bead him in and get my shot off. He should have had me right there. So here I have my super up on the heavy round. If I do well in the early rounds, I like to push the enemies heavy and try to deny them heavy with my Nova Bomb. So here they didn't even really push it. I don't know what they're thinking or doing, but they're just having some poor reaction times. And I get lucky right here with the machine gun. He just gets a body shot on me while I'm blinking. So again, high mobility helps avoid the snipers. I don't recommend that move right there. I was just playing around because we're 4-0. I just thought it'd be fun to get a cheeky kill with a Nova Bomb across the map. Thought I'd give it a try, but if you get in that situation, it's better to snipe and save your Nova Bomb for when the enemies are closer, of course. So our first game was an easy 5-0, and the A spawn is nice, I think, on this map. If you want to go to the capture point, it's outside of B where the hanging platform is. And I don't know about the placement of that, if it's the best. It seems like if the A team wanted to go straight to that room, they could lock it down pretty easily. There I go 6-0 the first game. So I'm feeling pretty good about my sniper shot. However, some teams it's just better to run with the shotgun. I choose the chaperone, and when I run with the shotgun, I switch to the Hawksaw or a Nerwin's Mercy, some kind of strong pulse rifle. When I'm running with the sniper rifle, I was using the bad juju just to get my super energy up faster. The bad juju charges your super, even though it's not maybe technically quite as strong of a pulse rifle. The full auto on it makes it a very strong, viable pulse rifle in the Crucible right now. So I've got this orb. I can camp. 2 enemies are down. My teammate's getting revived. Here I want to support my team and pinch the enemy. I get the nade out there first. I don't want to feed the enemy a kill, so I back off a little bit until I'm healed. And then we push together as a team again. Just because you have a enemy cornered, you don't want to do anything reckless and feed them kills and feed them super energy going into later rounds. Here I didn't have my super up immediately, but I still like pushing heavy often, just slowing them down, letting my teammates get the heavy. Here the enemy tethers, and I warned my teammate, but I think he heard me too late, and they both got tethered, and luckily he was able to back up and scare the enemy off with his heavy machine gun. So revives are super important always in trials. Here I'm going to kind of push and open the door with a shotgun. Sometimes it's better to just blink around, bounce around, make yourself a hard target, confuse the enemy, allow your teammates to get the kill. That's some defensive blinking. If I had a lined up shot, of course I would have taken it. Here I'm crouching, waiting for an advantage, then I push up when I know the enemy's hurt and running. Once again, back to sniping. This window is a very contentious point. Sometimes enemies that are aggressive like to rush that room. A lot of it with sniping is getting into position first. Whoever gets the first position can be hard scoping for when the enemies come around. I get shut down by the Red Death. I do like this as a defensive strategy of going to the capture point and locking it down. If the enemies are camping on top of C a lot, it's going to force them to play more aggressively than they're comfortable playing. Unfortunately, the teammate got the revive there, and I didn't get in position quite soon enough for the shotgun kill. So when I have shotgun, I try to dance around a lot more, blink around. Sometimes I just tease the enemy radar so my teammates can get closer and the enemy is worried about being pinched from two directions. And it also helps confuse the enemy as to where I'm at. If I keep moving up and down, left and right, blinking, it's harder for the enemy snipers to land a headshot on me if I stay highly mobile. And we're able to finish him off, move in for the shotgun, and back off, give myself time to switch to my primary, and my teammate's already taken him out. So if you do approach this map from the C spawn, I think it is good to maybe push left up onto the top of the ramp you see right in front of me. If you get on top of that, and just be careful and look for their snipers. That's a good position to get into. There is a lot of fighting in these hallways. Most people don't like the rounds to go the full 2 minutes because a lighthouse run gets very long. The further you get into a lighthouse run, the more campy some teams might become just because they're trying to guarantee those final wins. So we did make some mistakes. We had some good rounds and some bad rounds. Here, I think my teammate did a good job of backing up and staying alive as long as he could. So I have the heavy machine gun. I'm trying to use a little bit of cover, but it turns out one of these enemies has swapped out for a Gallahorn for this round, and I get annihilated right there with the... Oh, actually, that's the Minstrel, and then my teammate gets killed by a Gallahorn. I don't know if that was the best use of tether right there in the heavy round. He's able to get the one kill. And then we get wiped out by the Gallahorn. I think it's good if you have a super early in the heavy round to use it aggressively to deny the enemy heavy. But once the heavies are out, it's not always optimal situation to use your super.
Don't let this one slip away.
So I put in a lot of this gameplay because it was a good comeback where we were down 4-1. And so it's kind of some exciting gameplay. Here I'm just jumping around, trying to figure out where the enemies are. They're on two sides of me, so I kind of want to get out of that situation. I know my teammate's down. So I want them to chase me and worry about where I am, give my teammate a chance to revive them. I have my super, but I really don't want to use it unless I have an optimal situation where I can take more than one of the enemies out or shut them down when they super up. So there's a lot of tap dancing here. The enemies are feeling pretty confident and they're being aggressive because they have us on the ropes. They just need to win one more round. I think it's easy to tighten up in this situation and get scared. But if you can come back aggressively and win a few rounds, then you turn the tide and they start worrying about the comeback. And then they start tightening up and playing poorly. So here, I want to deny him the revive, so I go ahead and push aggressively with the shotgun. That's a lot about shotgun gameplay, is taking advantage of a weak enemy, a scared enemy, an enemy that's running away from you. Sometimes you get there a second too late and they get the revive and you have to try to get out of there. I think one issue with Trials right now is not only does the person getting revived get an overshield, the person giving the revive gets an overshield. And so then you're up against two enemies who have extra health and it puts you in a huge disadvantage. So to use that to your advantage is you want to get the revives whenever possible if the enemies aren't scoping you in for a headshot with sniper rifle. Here I use the mobility, I back off as soon as I'm hurt. There's no sense in feeding the enemies a kill. And now I'm able to push in with the shotgun. This guy has an overshield. I want to keep some distance and I run out of bullets. It becomes a revive fest here. Sunsingers everywhere. And it comes down to me just staying alive. So the revives really won us that round. And it became a kind of a brutal match of melees and super energy. And it was really hard to see what was going to happen. Mostly for me, I rather be the last man standing whenever I can. So I tend to back off if I feel like that enemy has any sort of advantage over me. If they're hard scoping a corner, I don't challenge it. If I'm injured, I back off and try to regroup with my teammates. Here I'm able to get the lucky headshot and shut the Sunsinger down. So the chaperone's really good, especially if you land those headshots, but if you don't, it's not really an issue because it's a rapid fire shotgun. Of course, there's other good shotguns. Anything with a lot of range right now is a viable option. The Hawksaw I don't mind at all. I try to keep close range with it, medium to close range. It won't really perform very well at longer ranges. And our strategy there was my teammate had his tether. I told him to go ahead and use it as soon as possible because I almost had my Nova Bomb, so he gave me the okay, and I pushed forward with the Nova Bomb, and we were able to shut the enemies down for a really nice comeback. So I hope you enjoyed the gameplay today. That was a 5-4 at the end. I think if you're going to shotgun, stay mobile. If you're going to snipe, make sure you check those corners. And I hope watching my gameplay will help your chances of getting a lighthouse this week.
Peace out. Thank you for watching.